welcome to the AI panel here at our festival at Epic Fest. And my name is Heidi Lechner. I wanted to just introduce our esteemed panel to talk about this topic today. So I'd like to go down and have everyone just introduce themselves and let the audience know who you are.
I'm Mike Shields II. I'm an actor, magician, and filmmaker, sometimes all three. I own Team 33 Productions. You may already be on Team 33.
My name is Isha Bargett. I am president of AI VR Motion Picture Guild and CEO of Isha Bargett Production LLC, which is more into AI filmmaking and AI marketing.
Okay, my name is Joe from Zuilen. I'm here with a feature film Cantopia. I'm an independent animated filmmaker. I use some AI, I look into AI, I'm interested, but I haven't used it a whole lot yet, so we'll be interested to see what we find out today.
And I am Elizabeth Orr. I am a scriptwriter, primarily screenwriter, playwright, and I do TV pilots. I used to have an arts column at the Mercury News.
I'm Ping Li from China. I'm a long time, I think, independent filmmaker, and now I just changed to writing screenwriting scripts, and now animation this time.
Okay, Ling Tang, I think most people probably know me, and I do a lot of things, and then after my retire for the past 14 years, I've been doing 3 festivals, one in San Diego, that's one of the best children's film festival, and one in Los Angeles, that's promote the multicultural film festival, which bring a lot of impact for Hollywood, because we're multicultural, we're colorful. And this one is the Epic ACG, is mostly focused on the animated comic game. We've been absent for 4 years after pandemic, so right now we're trying to come back to resume the festival because they are, the AIs and many other new technology coming into the industry. So I want us to keep this platform going to give the people who are in the new technology field able to, have a place to share or promote or network. Besides the Street Film Festival, then I also produce a stage show. I produce a Broadway show. Then I produce 2 times Broadway show. Then I also produce feature film, mostly cultural based. For past 7 years, I produce 11 feature films. So I do a lot of things. Today I'm here to learning something from AI because I do have a animation serial. I'm really trying to start production, then I see this new software come from AI. Now I'm holding a production. I want to try the AI because it's significantly going to reduce a lot of money, which I can use for advertisement or promotion. So that's where I kind of hold it and to say where I can get those AI things going. Okay.
Wonderful. So I'm going to now ask some questions of the panel. Isha, I'd like to know what inspired you to found the AI VR Motion Picture Guild?
It's a very interesting part because when I worked last year October, before October, I worked for a client portfolio for advertisement, and I decided it's a budget limited advertisement. So I started to collaborate with the script and everything. I started using the AI tools, storyboard or like script analysis and all the stuff. Then I think about, because it's an advertisement, it's go on like television or somewhere. I didn't know about the copyright stuff. What I use on AI tools. Then I start searching any ethical standards, organization around the Bay Area or something like that. Then I found out there's nothing about any AI guild. And suddenly I started to look out all the organization. Is there anything? Then there's nothing. I want to be found this guild, and I started searching and 501c6 is perfect for this non-profit professional association for a specific who really jump into the AI filmmaking right now. Then I searched a lawyer and she filed the paperwork, all the stuff, and this April we already launched this guild. So it's not inspiring story, but I need some structure because we don't know which is the copyright stuff and which is not, because it's already integrated in the AI tools. So we need to really be careful to the original stuff and use this integrated tools into your authentic work. So that's the inspiration for AI VR motion picture guild. I founded this one with the team member Manisha is here. She is a very supportive team member for AI VR guild. Jay is all. We are growing team members right now. So we have 5 members from all over the USA.
Wonderful.
And Blackmagic is the part of the organization right now, but non-monetary.
Oh darn.
Yeah, yeah. I'm very thankful for Blackmagic. They support our community right now and providing the training videos to our members.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. Joe, how has your technology background influenced you artistically?
So the question was how?
How has your technology background
Oh, I see.
influenced you artistically?
Well, I think that the technology background helped me. It's easy for me to pick up, to learn new tools and new technology. So that's one of the reasons I think that I can do most of the stuff myself. I just learn it. So I'm pretty good with computers. I build them myself if needed. So I'm pretty well versed in the technology field, and then have to add the artistic side to it and to come up with the product.
Wonderful. Elizabeth, how do you approach writing for different mediums?
Well, interesting enough, I approach it the same way for each medium. First of all, let's say if it's a pilot, a TV pilot, whether animation or live action, I look at the theme, particularly if this is a collaboration and it's a commission from someone. I really try and find that underlying thread, theme that will take place in this project, and then often I will do a writing sample of the project so that the client knows exactly what I'm doing, and so there may not be a misunderstanding about it. We take it in stages, and this usually works very well. However, there are some clients, collaborators who may not be writers, and they will make a really goofy suggestion, like, never mind. They'll make a goofy suggestion of wanting to add a song in the middle of a dramatic moment, and they've written the song to boot, and they're not necessarily songwriters, so you can imagine the outcome of that. But each genre has a 3-act structure, and I try and see what can be unique about this storyline that's different from other storylines, and find that little nugget and go from there. But my process is really visual. It's really imagination. I sink into my mind like I'm watching a movie, and scenes come to me. I start writing them down, and I just continue in that regard. I have a very easy time writing rarely get blocks. It's just my imagination going fast and put it down.
Lovely. Ingru, how do you approach writing for Chinese audiences versus international?
You said what?
How do you approach writing for
Approach
Chinese
writing.
approach writing
Okay,
for
approach writing.
Chinese audiences versus international?
Actually, I never write. I wrote for the Chinese script before, but it's about kind of a cultural revolution. So there's no market at the moment, So I just switched for the foreign story. So that is better as I get into the Las Vegas Dreams Film Festival, got a new writer award, and also multicultural first time for the best screenwriter. And for this time I switched to animation because the AI is rising. Everybody knows that. So I think maybe I'll take this chance to do animation. It's about a cat, legendary cat story on the Titanic. That is international and historical. So that's everybody
the
should
Legend of Belle and the Titanic.
That's right.
That's okay.
So I think everybody should would see that movie.
Yeah.
Historical and legendary and international.
Sounds fascinating.
Right.
I'd like to hear more about that in a minute.
Okay.
Lynn, tell us about your 3 international film festivals, culturally based cinema films.
Well, my story is I was in the film industry. I had a double engineer background. I was working with, I got trained for a double engineer. Then after I worked for many years, got my green card. Then I was from China. Then I got from my engineering degree here. Then I worked a few years and started my own company. And because I have lots we did a lot of international projects. I switched basically my own company. We did a lot of international projects, we built infrastructure for the Olympic, and we've been going on worldwide. And every place, every country, before the countries I go, I always don't get kind of touching because all the older mamas or grandmas always grab my hand, and they don't speak English, but they just think they know me, and you feel like they're daughters or granddaughters. Then after I finished my project, it was so much work. Then I said I'm gonna retire. I don't want to do anymore. I want to it's too much. So I retired, and then I guess people from China, the filmmakers said, "Oh, Lynn, you got so many connections. Why don't you help our Chinese movie?" Then I said, "Okay, I do it." Since I don't have anything to do already, I take 3 months break. Then I get bored. I said, "Okay, I help you guys." So I help the children's film people, and they wanted their children's movies to be screening in America and in other places, and they can't. Nobody wants doing it. And I said, that's not hard. But I go out to find out it is hard. Their movie. I said, oh, okay. But finally, San Diego International Kids Film Festival said, oh, we want to do your Chinese children's movie. And I said, all right. I go. Then from that film festival, I learned from scratch about movie, about Hollywood, about all the industry business. But anyway, I was just, okay, I'm just volunteer to help them. And I get into there and what I'm learning from scratch. Since then, I said, well, this is Hollywood, it's in San Diego, it's a kids. And I said, if I discovered there's a lot of things, and it's, the movies are not, especially minority movies or other things, they don't have a price. Then I said, I'm gonna go to Hollywood, China or something. Then I started volunteering in the movie festival in Hollywood. Then I had our own, because after I done something, certain people were, because I'm an outcomer, they're gonna give me different things. So I started, anyway, I'm gonna start my own. So that's why we're gonna have our Universal Multicultural Film Festival, that's huge. Then for the Epic ACG, there is a story because my son, he is work for the that's open right now. What's the Pixar?
Oh,
so he did Blue Umbrella. He did what's another one? Anyway, he went Coco's, and before that one, what's the Jesus. But anyway, I've watched all his films. Every other film is winning Oscar. Then he's here. I'm in LA. So I think I have to find something I have an excuse to visit him. So then since I already have the 2 film festivals, I start a little one just to play for. So that's why we have this one. In this way, I also think is I can cover all the area of this industry. So we got platform people. That's why I have 3 of them. Like I said, since I get involved more and more, then I got invited for all type of the film projects. Then, like I said, from my past experience, because I get very good feeling about all different kinds of people and grandmas, moms, or I go to bridal night, they always give me warm, touching and help. That time we don't have much like a cell phone in the 90s, and then I've been driving around global, doing all kinds of things, and I use a huge map, Thomas map, and driving everywhere in the planet. But every time I get help, so I think I feel like if we are kind to each other, we understand each other's culture, there will be no war. I hate the war. So that's how I started promoting, multicultural. And I'm going to do this, I'm going to provide a multicultural through cinema, because movie is powerful. And I say if you have a movie, everybody make a movie together, include everybody. Like say we have black and white, we have yellow, we have everybody seeing the movie, because it's like nowadays is how people living. If you have everybody there, the movie has more audience for. Then I started a lot of all my movies have multicultural thing. Then I said that's what I do this for. Then I end up I practice 11 feature movie.
That's great.
And I have few more. It wasn't pandemic. There's 5 more already finished, but right now it's kind of holding stuff on there. The pandemic is stuff everything. Some of the finish part of it, and anyway, we just do one by one at a time. So, I other people know my story, but that's what basically why I have a street focus.
That's great. Well, thank you. Mike,
Yes.
what is your experience with Comic-Con environment with your film screening? What's your experience there?
Oh, that's a long story, which I can maybe shorten down to 5 minutes or less. I started at Comic-Con as a member of their committee in 1984. So I was doing jobs every year for them, basically being a utility infielder like I am here for Lynn. I did security a couple of years, and then I started doing the masquerade, and that got me into the costuming angle, and we could talk about half an hour about just costumes, but that's not why we're here, right? So at the same time, doing that for 30 plus years, I decided since I wasn't getting parts for myself that I would start writing. I did that. I wrote a script. I wrote another script. I continued to write until I came up with one that I liked called Blue Blazes, which is basically a Christian superhero on the big screen. So in 2011, that was a finalist at the 2011 168 Film Festival. And the same year, I got that into San Diego Comic-Con's International Film Festival. So I've been involved with comics, animation, and screening ever since. I'm just one guy, so I haven't done the comic book yet, because comic book artists, they want $450 a page. And that was back in 1993.
I would do it for
Okay.
less.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Have your people call my people, we'll take a meeting and do lunch. Okay, all right. So it's a matter of what you can do by yourself and how much you can afford to pay other people to get the final product. And now we're at a point where with AI, Joe did basically his movie, that 70-minute movie we just saw, all by himself. Now there are tools out there that you can get for free or cheap, and I'm thinking that's my next step with something. I don't know what yet, because I have an award-winning screenplay at the UMFF in 2014 that I'm still trying to find money for to do as a live-action feature. Maybe I do it as a comic book. I don't know.
Great. So, Isha, how does your experience as an actress influence you in what you're doing now?
So first of all, I didn't want to be an actress. I want to be a journalist that time because
Okay.
I love to be storytelling and interview people around the area in Midwest. Suddenly someone, where I worked, suddenly someone said to me, Isha, why you're not searching a modeling agency? Because you have a look for a camera and all the stuff. But English is my second language. I tried a lot for on journalist, but there's accent, there's English, so that's changed my path. And then I applied for the modeling agency. They selected me. Then I got a few auditions, but for Latin American people. But I'm Indian. But I got a lot of Brazilian looking girls and Latin American girls, Mexican speaking languages. Then suddenly, I think the journalist mindset changed me a lot, influenced me a lot because storytelling, empathy, intuition for any character, it's not given by AI tools because it's an authentic thing because AI give you some space for creating an ideas, but psychology of creating a character is depend upon you because when the character is anger, some characters shut down, some character bust the anger with loud sound. It's totally depend upon yourself, your understanding. So these things influenced me a lot when I created this AI VR Motion Picture Guild. And as a media strategist, I always connect with the audience with the emotion and use a psychology, not like selling something. So that's influenced me a lot to create all the stuff.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay, Job. What are the latest trends in sound design that you've experienced?
Well, like everywhere else, you type in your prompt and something comes out. It's amazing. So that's, again, it uses a large library of sounds and then it sort of synthesizes it. And I have one tool, it's kind of cool, it's like a slider, and you can change the acoustics, for instance, by using the slider in the background. So you have someone walking in a room, but the acoustic changes when they're walking, depending on what they want. That's one. I'm not a sound design specialist, but that's one tool I'm aware of, that I'm subscribed to, that I know of. So that is one of the things that we see more and more. You have a prompt for what you want, and something comes out. But can I comment on
Yes,
what she
of
said,
course.
because I think it's very interesting about the characters, because I'm living with those characters for 5 years, and so at some point you get lazy and you say, well, I don't want to write the scene, let's use an AI.
It's over dependency.
And then I noticed, because this was a screenplay, not this film, but a screenplay I worked on for a long time. I said, he wasn't talking about it. He was over the top. So that's one of the things that the AI is overdoing things. And then I said, stop being lazy and write the damn thing yourself. So that's really the dependency on AI. It's good for some things. I use it for script analysis, for instance. It came up with some interesting ideas. I used it for doing a storyboard. And what was interesting, what came out was a certain camera angle that I had not thought of. It can give you ideas, but it will not. I'm not worried about it being. I need to shout it. So I'm not worried about it replacing us if we're critical. But my worry is that the audience may not be so critical and they will just eat anything that you. So.
Yeah, I'd like to tag on to that. My recent experiences have taught me that AI cannot write dialogue. There is something missing. The human spirit, the emotional makeup, psychology is very cut and dry, very clinical. There is a loss of rhythm, of musicality in the language. It may be good punctually, grammatically, but it is cold and, as I said, clinical and very disappointing. That said, I recently got an offer from an AI company to help them develop screenplays. And I turned it down. Ethically, I couldn't do it. It just didn't seem right. And I still think no matter what we do to work with AI, it just does not have a soul. It doesn't have our history or feelings that bring screenplays, animation to life. There has to be a human element in it.
Yeah, agreed. Well, Job, I'm sorry, Elizabeth, can I follow up?
Sure.
Okay, so, in your work, how do you balance creative freedom with collaboration in your commission work?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, I present the full idea to the client with a sample scene. I run with what my gut tells me to do. It's very emotional, visual, and there can be some arguing going on with the client who has another vision and insists on say putting a devil in a church scene and something just a little out there, and I do object to that. What else can I tell you? It's any creative story meeting, whether it's just a one-on-one with the client or at Disney, the story meetings at Disney were equally wild. People held to their own opinion, their own vision, their point of view, and legend has it that few people would be throwing their chairs against the wall and breaking a chair because they were so furious that the others did not like what that person was offering. So I try and be compassionate. I try and feel what the client wants, and it seems to work pretty well for the most part.
Let me make a quick comment on that. I worked at Disney for one day. I was farmed out from another company, so I still had work, but they sent me, you're going to Disney Channel, you're gonna be there all day. So I'm at Disney Channel, and I get to the part, I fixed about 4 or 5 computers because I was a computer tech back then. And then finally I find out by listening to everybody that Disney has this thing called showstoppers. Okay, if you have a showstopper, you go to the top of the queue for the technological fix. Everyone classified their problem as a showstopper, so that threw the queue out of whack, and it's basically, I'll collaborate with you, I'll fix your computer, but if you need your computer fixed, there are 30 people ahead of you. But the individual artists didn't get that part because they needed their computer fixed, and they needed it fixed now.
I love that. So,
May I add something?
yes,
to
please.
this?
Yes.
I
Keep
just,
going.
it just so happens, I had a great conversation a few days ago with Lorna Cook, who was one of the animators in The Lion King and Aladdin, a number of the great films, and she was saying now that the young animators coming in are moving so fast. Everything is about speed and not exactly quality, and so there is that danger that AI will we'll be able to do things faster, but we may lose something important
Right.
in the interim.
That makes sense, and just, I know I'm asking you all questions, but I know I write too, and I'm working on a one-woman show right now, writing my piece, and I have ChatGPT, and I wasn't gonna use it to write anything, but I was like, hey, what do let's formulate this, and I didn't like what it say. I was like, that's not me, that's not my voice, but it did give me some interesting, ideas, but so I see it kind of as an aid, as instead of a replacement, for the writing process anyway.
Speaking of voice, that's the problem. It doesn't have a voice.
Mhm.
It has an algorithm that punches
Right.
out lines. And
Right,
I think that's
exactly.
the main distinction.
Definitely. Okay, Guru, tell us more about Legend of Belle and Titanic. I'd like to hear more about the story, how you came up with it, a little more of the creative vision.
Yeah, first I just read from online story. It's a historical. I think it's stalker. I mean a boiler, a worker,
Mhm.
working in the machine room of the Titanic
Mhm.
machine room, I think.
Right.
And then he found a cat. Just give the birth 5 little kittens. Yeah, right. This stalker just keep feeding her, but the belly is the mother. So the mother, she boarded the ship. It's in a shipyard when the Titanic just made. It's in Belfast, in Ireland, I think.
Mhm.
So before the maiden trip, and this mother gave the 5 kittens, and then they have the maiden voyage from Belfast to Southampton. How say that? Southampton. So this maiden trip, so this cat is all the way on the Titanic. But when the ship is arrived at the Southampton, so before the big boarding of this kind of this kind of passengers, so the belly found something wrong with it. He has maybe more than sense than human to predict some disaster. So a Titanic is soon to be hit the iceberg. So this cat is just running around the deck, or say that the deck, and then she's found really something wrong. So she just with her mouth to carry her kittens off the ship, one by one. And then the last one, he is hiding in somewhere, shrubs in a dock. Then she found someone missing. 1, 2, 3, 4. So one missing. And then she come back to the ship. So the stalker found her strange behavior, and he just had some bad feelings or amusing.
Mhm.
He said this strange behavior maybe will be something wrong with this trip.
So you had an intuition.
Intuition.
Intuition. Yeah.
The man, because this mother cat, he saved her 5 children, and he saved the stalker too. So when he come back, the stalker found something wrong. So said, why you are here back? So he says all the way follow her side, just carry her kittens, to off the ship. And then for the last one, and the stalker said that he has to do something, follow this cat. Something might be wrong for this journey or voyage or something like that.
Wow.
So and then at last, he hoped this cat
Mhm.
just jumped, because all the time everyone is already passenger is start to sailing now. So the gangplank is already retracting. So this stalker said he has to do something to off the ship too with this cat, and then he just jumped into the sea, and then the ship is sailing away. So they saved all this kind of 5 children and the stalker, and then they avoided this disaster.
Wow, it sounds like a really
It's a
fast.
legendary story.
Sounds like a great. I love how you're taking those historic elements and also adding in the animals and the
Right.
relationship with the children and
Yeah.
it sounds really or kittens.
Yeah, very
That's very cool. So Lynn, you mentioned earlier about your journey and now your current plans in animation and musicals or anything you're working on. How AI technology would be added in. How you
I
would
think
use it.
I have been planning a series of the animation and which combine 5 the Asian cultures, like your Asian Egypt, Asian India, Asian China, and the Atlantis, or the 5, I mean each culture at a time. So how kind of creating animation for how they work together to save the world. Because defending the aliens attack. So that's the storyline. So we were saying we're doing sound first, then we come later on to the water, do whatever. We just do sound first. So I have that kind of thing. We are trying to combine the animation technique with computer, like CGI, and also we use the Chinese traditional like a paintbrush kind of technique. So that budget about $7 million, right? We're almost just doing it. Then I kind of people say, my son is a ChatGPT. ChatGPT, year and a half bought his company. She said, "Mommy, no, you don't need to spend money like that. You just wait a little bit." And then last 2 weeks, they Sarah Chu released, and he sent me some stuff. He said, "You can make this maybe like $700,000. You can have a giant like $20 million look." Then that's where I said, maybe it's a time I should use AI to do this because it's very complicated. You involve like 5 old, like an ancient empire in the history, and there's a lot of characters creating. Then that's where I kind of come here to say what's coming for. Of course, when I do this, we need a lot of people, and then I said, I'm gonna do it with AI because I can make the money for my marketing. Yeah, that's my plan.
Okay, great. I have a couple more individual questions, then I'm going to sort of open it up as a group that we can really dialogue about some of these topics. So, Isha, I was curious, how do you balance ethics with technology?
Sorry.
You steal.
It's understanding of your choice for the project. For example, if you have a garden and you want to be a collection of a bouquet, for example, flowers, you don't pick every flower on your garden. You pick specific type of a flower to create a specific bouquet for occasion. So same as ethics and technology. So many things are available right now on AI tools. You don't pick everything because it's not ethically like transparency are available on AI tool right now. So just use your original stuff, your mind, your perception about the character, and use specific type of a tool with the specific type of a prompt. Then you create your authentic work with the original stuff and give it to film festival, streaming service. Then you create your credibility around the world. That's the main thing I learned from the balance your technology with the ethics. That's the specific thing, because after 5 years the copyright stuff and everything problem is come up, because right now it's easy to see everything created on a AI tool. But you need to, if you are going into this film production, into AI, you need to be original with the specific type of a technology are you using to create your stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I think the originality part is interesting, because, especially if you have a vision and it's very specific, it's like an artistry that really can't be replaced.
Yeah.
Right?
Because I learned everything is copy. It's copyable. But your energy, your tone of your work, it doesn't copy from anybody.
Right.
So that's the main thing.